Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. Our names are Caroline, Izzy, Sarah, Reagan, and Misha, and we are honored to present Project Beacon. This idea is deeply personal to us. Like so many families across Kentucky, we've watched loved ones struggle with Alzheimer's disease. Last year, I lost 2 of my grandparents to Alzheimer's. As their condition worsened over the years, it had an impact on my grandparents' spouses and my parents as they tried to balance other parts of their lives while taking care of them. We believe that Project Beacon has the power to improve the lives of hundreds of Kentucky families, families like my own, who've been forever changed by this heartbreaking condition. Our mission is to improve the situation of individuals living with Alzheimer's and their families with innovative, reliable technology that supports independence, preserves dignity, and reduces the burdens of constant care. Our goals are to develop high-quality products, enrich lives of caretakers, expand product lines, and ensure accessibility for all.
One of the biggest challenges facing Alzheimer's caregivers is unavailability. Many work full-time jobs, raise families, and do their best to stay present, but they can't watch their loved one 24/7. This leads to 3 major risks: caregiver unavailability, dementia-related wandering, and undetected falls. The prevalence is staggering. 81,000 Kentuckians currently live with Alzheimer's, and 60% of those individuals will wander at least once, often into dangerous situations. Not only this, but family members provide almost $5 billion in unpaid labor every year in our state, and nearly 40% of these caregivers experience depression. Although there are hireable in-home caregivers, it is extremely rare for them to offer their services long enough to meet their patients' needs, and they are also expensive. It's clear that families need both practical and emotional support.
That brings us to our solution. Project Beacon is an all-in-one AI safety guardian designed specifically for dementia care. Our product consists of a cuboidal device with a touchscreen, an AI chatbot, and a motion sensor camera. It can recognize visitors as they enter the home to prevent harm, display and announce schedules on the touchscreen, allow caregivers to see what their loved ones are doing in real time, and gently redirect a wandering user before they leave the home. Instead of juggling separate devices such as cameras, calendars, and voice assistants, we are bringing these features together into one simple system. Project Beacon uses offline AI, meaning it will work without relying on the internet, and it also protects user privacy. For caregivers, Beacon provides reliable alerts through the app and a simple monthly maintenance fee that replaces the need for repeatedly purchasing expensive gadgets. Our goal is to offer safety and security that is effective, affordable, and easy to use.
So this is our website with our mission statement. It's not showing. Okay. Hit escape. Chrome. Okay. Sorry about that. So this is our home screen with our mission statement, an overview, the picture of us, and our key product features, contact information, and then additional recommendations about just Alzheimer's education, and then a mobile app, and then we have a tab for our store.
So our primary audience is Kentucky families caring for relatives in the early to mid stages of dementia, specifically those living in Central Appalachia, where the aging population is higher than the national average. What makes our project unique is that no true competitor offers everything we do in one device. Families today are forced to piece together systems that don't communicate with each other. This can leave gaps in safety and cause unnecessary stress for caregivers. Project Beacon removes these gaps by consolidating safety and security. Our advantage is that it works right out of the box, requires minimal setup, and avoids subscription stacking. Our market research shows the demand is only going to increase. Dementia costs in the U.S. will reach $781 billion in 2026, and nearly half of adults in Central Appalachia live with a disability. Families are actively seeking affordable assistive technology, which is exactly what we provide.
We have built a clear operations plan with milestones that include becoming profitable, expanding distribution, and eventually reaching global and national markets. We have also begun forming connections with professionals such as Dr. Robert Hayes, who is a medical professional at Mary's St. Medical Center, and Miss Lynette Muncie, who's a family lawyer in Kentucky. These partnerships help us validate our product and prepare for real-world implementation. Financially, Project Beacon is structured for sustainability. Each unit will cost $500 to produce and sells for $1,000, giving us a strong 50% margin. There will also be a $50 monthly maintenance fee to allow for upkeep on the software. With our initial investment being $6,000, our break-even point will be approximately 6.6 units. Looking at our 3-year cash flow forecast, we expect long-term stability driven by both hardware sales and recurring subscription revenue. By year 3, we anticipate more than $100,000 in revenue capital to fund new product development.
Okay, so here's an outline of our variable costs. So the $470 per unit comes from the total cost of all physical components required to build just one device. This includes the NVIDIA computing core, which is the AI software, the sensor suite, internal power management, and the raw filament for the 3D printed enclosure. And then the $30 per unit covers everything needed for packaging and shipping. And here's some of the fixed costs. So we want to set aside $2,500 in case we have liability issues. We have $300 set aside for digital infrastructure and hosting, and then $500 set aside whenever we expand on marketing. And here is a visual representation of our break-even point whenever we look at our total revenue of $1,000 per unit, coupled with the total cost of our fixed and variable costs. So based on our numbers from our 3-year plan, this is our cash flow forecast, which helped us calculate our return on investment of 1,606% after 3 years. Okay. To reach caregivers, we plan to market through social media and a user-friendly website and mobile app that allow caregivers to stay connected from anywhere. Our SWOT analysis highlights what makes us stand out: affordability, reliability, creativity, and customizability. In addition, we are planning to expand through government funding and a global market. However, we acknowledge that we do have some weaknesses. We all want to learn more through this process, and it's also known that our idea is acceptable to bigger businesses with more resources coming in and taking our idea. However, we plan on patenting our idea once we make enough money through our return on revenue. Okay. Looking ahead, our vision includes expanding our product line with additional cameras, GPS trackers, and enhanced AI capabilities.
Thank you all for listening. We're very excited about the future of Project Beacon. We hope you'll join us in helping families feel safer, supported, and never alone in their Alzheimer's care journey.
So how many units are needed in a household?
Just one.
And how would it do fall detection if somebody's like in another room?
Okay, so that is something we plan on expanding on once we have enough money, but right now we would probably plan on, there are already devices out there that use the technology to detect falls, so we would just implement some of that.
And I mean, if it's smart, if it has intelligence, I could see something like if it hasn't seen the person that lives in the house in a given period of time, maybe it could send an alert or something.
Yeah,
But yeah, good job.
thank you.
This was a great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent presentation. Thank you.
So I know you mentioned the calendar alerts that would alert the person, and also the camera. Is there any other features?
So through the mobile app, the caregiver is mainly in control of what they're able to see from the device. So the calendar would be the caregiver can insert the dementia patient's schedule, so it can give them notifications throughout the day if they need to take their medicine or if they have an upcoming doctor's appointment that they would need to be reminded of. And then the motion sensor camera is for the caregiver to be able to see if the if the Alzheimer's patient would attempt to be wandering. And also it just gives notifications anytime someone comes in and out of the door so that they can keep an eye on their patient. And then another feature we have to prevent wandering is that when it detects that the patient is trying to wander out any of their doors, it will gently try to coax them back inside. And obviously that's not going to have a 100% success rate, but it will slow the wandering down and give the caretaker time to either make their way over to stop their Alzheimer's patient or to notify a neighbor who can hopefully step in and help.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Very good presentation. I don't have any questions, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I had a few. I used to take care of my grandmother when she was 103. So we had many challenges. She didn't have Alzheimer's, but she had dementia pretty bad. And she liked to wander. But she also got very confused. So she would eat things that weren't real and throw things away that she shouldn't. And so things that came to mind were, how heavy is this thing? And how many do you need? And how does it work? Because one of the thoughts that came to mind is somebody with Alzheimer's will get confused and throw it away. Like if they can pick it up, they'll just throw it away if they don't know what it is. Or how is it going to be able to see into different rooms where they're going? And how many do you need? How many cameras are there? Like how would it actually detect some of these movements that somebody's doing in the house? And certain doors, you have multiple doors in a house typically. And my grandmother used to like to, if she couldn't get one door open, she'd go to another door and she'd escape through different routes. So it was kind of a guessing game as to where she was going to try to flee from. And, sometimes it was kind of hard to figure out what she was going to do next because she was quite smart, despite the dementia. Do you have plans for that?
So it is a 3D printed, I would say pretty lightweight box. I definitely do think we need to take more into account the fact that if it's being light enough that they can pick up, we need to do something about that. But it is, it's running on electricity, so it'll be plugged into the wall. And if it were to become unplugged, it would send a notification to the caregiver's phone. So hopefully, if they were to unplug it and attempt or to throw it away, the caregiver would be aware that it was unplugged and know that something had happened with the box, and they could come over and check it out. And for the camera aspect, so there's one camera that's equipped on the original box that is facing their main doorway. But we do plan in the future to offer separate cells, like selling separate cameras so that they can buy those in addition to customizable to their house layout and however many cameras they feel to get every doorway in their house that somebody could be trying to wander from.
And where are you getting your numbers to produce this box?
So we did research on some of the already existing products that are out there, and then our advisor has a bunch of 3D printers at the middle school, so we used his information on 3D printing there. And then we also already have a grant for our prototype, so we were able to take the costs of that and then apply it through the rest of our calculations.
I'm just warning you, if you want to do a patent, do not have it produced in China. They don't honor anything. So if you're going to get it produced in China, your patent won't do you much good because once they have your product, they'll repeat it and it'll be kind of gone. So.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
One other thought. So you said the AI piece would be like localized, but you're talking about connectivity between the device and caretaker for messaging. So can you tell me like a little bit more about like what's compartmentalized and what's not? And do you provide any kind of analysis of the data that this thing's like collecting and like use that in your business model going forward?
So we aren't collecting data from what the camera and the AI bot collects from the house. It's offline, so that means that all the information is only stored in your separate device, so that won't be collected from us. And we did that to secure privacy of the people, of our customers.
In order to improve our product, though, we will be having surveys and things like that on our website so people can constantly be giving us feedback.
And, I mean, you might, go ahead.
Sorry. And then to ensure that all of the devices are connected, like that's one of our main points, that they are connected. It's through a central Wi-Fi system so that they're all on the same network and they're all connected to the same source.
Cool. And maybe you could have like an opt-in thing, right? Because, I mean, if your model's there and that information's being collected locally, it could be leverageable, you know? And the only other thing I was thinking is, you know, maybe you make it mountable so you could put it on the ceiling or wall or whatnot. And so if someone is, you know, tempted to pick it up and move it or throw it away, then it could be sort of stabilized.
That's a good idea.
That's a very good idea. Thank you.
My mother had Alzheimer's for 4 years, and a good friend of mother and I helped take care of both of them extensively. So I know this is pretty complicated. Have you looked at other products that are available? I know 7 years, my mother died 7 years ago. She had Alzheimer's for 4 years before that or more. And so one of the devices I had for her was a medicine dispensing device before she had late Alzheimer's. And it would automatically open up a compartment and give her the medicine. And I could see on my phone exactly whether she had opened it. I could control it. I could change the schedule. It gave me all kinds of data. And that was probably 9 or 10 years ago. So I would say there probably are a lot of products. You might, if you haven't, take a good look at what else is available, how they work, how much they cost. Because my experience too is that this is a complicated situation. It's not easy to control things remotely. I also found a device that I did not implement that would let me control her TV, because we found ways to make that as simple as possible, but it still didn't work. So that's another option. When she was watching TV, she could stay very calm, and that was very helpful for her and for me. So that's a very handy, very simple device.
I'd be more aggressive on your like market side too, like your growth side, like a super conservative route, like how many units, 6 units or whatever to, you know, be profitable. But like what the scale of the challenge here, you represented to be like really, really large. So just go ahead and project out more potential capture, make it more compelling. There's no reason not to.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, thank you all very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.